Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the Elzetta Design Mini-CQB light that you see here and you've seen throughout the video. There's a lot of really cool things going on with this. First off, it's based on the alpha, which we'll show you a little bit later on, which is a good thing. It's going to give you the same 375 lumen output, and it's going to be a very low candela light for that lumen output anyway. So what that means is it's going to give you a wide beam, which we're going to check out here in a second. So it's going to give you good situational awareness designed for CQB type applications, as the name indicates. I think they say it's good for engagements up to 50 meters. I would say that's probably about right. And again, you guys are going to see it outside here in just a second. So there's some cool things going on here. The partnership with Impact Weapons Components gives us this really cool mount, and that allows it to be used on either MLOK or KeyMod systems. So that alone is just awesome. You guys have seen it in both throughout the intro, so that's definitely a good thing. And Impact Weapons Components just makes good stuff. We've reviewed some of their stuff here in the past. Made in the USA, as is the Elzetta. Now, one thing I want to point out before checking out this beam pattern review, or comparison, I should say, is that it's still an Elzetta at the heart of it. So meaning it still is extremely durable, extremely well made. Elzettas are known for being the toughest flashlights on the planet. I agree with that. I've seen them just go through insane amounts of abuse and keep going. They have fully potted electronics, and what that means for folks who are new to Elzetta is that easy way to think of it is if they put the electronics in the light and then sort of poured a resin or cement type thing over it, so that way all those components are locked into place, and if there's any impact, any water that gets in there, which won't get in there is the point of it, they'll just keep going and not skip a beat. So Elzettas are known, like I said, for being the toughest, and I would definitely agree with that. So what we're going to do next is step outside and take a look at the beam comparison with the big brother, the Elzetta Bravo, and then the HSP Enforced WML, another sort of small weapon light. So that's what's coming up next, and then we'll get into the details of it. Here's the output from the Elzetta. You can see a nice balanced beam all the way around, no real edge, no real hot spot. Good balanced output as they design it. Now this here is the Haley Strategic Enforced WML, a little bit brighter hot spot. The light itself is also whiter. So again, you'll see the Haley Strategic WML. You can see a little bit more of an edge there on it, but still good output for a very lightweight light. That's a good light. I do recommend it, but the Elzetta here is just a different animal when you're looking at what you get for it in terms of output and durability. So that's the beam comparison of those two. We'll get the Bravo out next. Here's the output from the big brother, the Elzetta Bravo. You can see it is brighter, obviously, having a good bit more lumens on there. I'll let it focus again. And here is the little guy. Still pretty good output, very similar beam pattern overall. The Bravo just has a little bit more light. Bravo again, a little one over here, Bravo. So definitely both have good output. Just a little more power here behind the Bravo. Before getting into the details, I wanted to show the Alpha next to the Mini-CQB. I know a lot of folks out there are familiar with the Alpha, so we'll just set that off to the side just to give you a size comparison. They are identical in size in terms of length like that. So a few things to get into here on the Mini-CQB. The beauty of it here is that it works with both MLOK and KeyMod systems, as we showed here. So right now we have it set up for KeyMod, and if you just wanted to switch it over to MLOK, all you need to do is rotate these nuts out. These nuts, incidentally, are called the KML nut, and these are designed by Impact Weapons Components. And then you can just switch it over to the other side, and that would be compatible with the MLOK. Now, a couple things cool about this is that they work as recoil lugs for both the KeyMod and MLOK system. For the MLOK system, that's pretty simple. However, Impact Weapons Component had to do some pretty good engineering there to get them to work as a recoil lug with the KeyMod nut, which is a very, very integral part of the KeyMod system working well. So it does do that, so we're happy to report that, and I've had no issues with it coming off or coming loose or anything like that on any of the different KeyMod setups we've had it on. We showed you it next to the Alpha just a second ago, and one thing that it also shares in terms of size with the Alpha is the tail cap compatibility. I think there's 6 different options. This one here is the high, where you can use it just momentary, or you can click it to push it on. And one thing I should point out about Elzetta is that they're very, very quiet. So their tail caps, like obviously these are called clicky tail caps because most of them actually click when you engage them. This one is very quiet. So we'll show you here if I can quiet down and see what it sounds like. Not sure if the camera picked that up, but it's very, very low in terms of sound. So bringing it out, one thing you notice with any Elzetta flashlight when you pick them up is just the quality is insane. Just turning and feeling the threads on there, everything about it is smooth. You can see they do come pre-lubricated from the factory, and they are O-ring sealed, so that way you can, submerge it in whatever you want, and the Elzetta is not going to complain about it at all. Comes with a battery, one CR 123 Alpha battery is what they run on. You can see it's got dual springs in there to be able to absorb any sort of recoil you can throw at it. I've used Elzetta flashlights on plenty of shotguns over the years and never had a single issue. That goes back to the fully potted electronics that we talked about earlier in the video. But I know you can't feel it when you're actually watching this video, but I can assure you everything about it just feels quality, perfect fit and finish all the way around. Has a little bit of a grip texturing here up front. Not sure what that's for, but it doesn't hurt anything. Other than that, pretty smooth finish all the way around. I believe it's Type 3 hard anodizing on the finish there. And one thing I should point out in terms of this mount that's really cool and goes along with Elzetta's modular theme that they like to use on all their different lights is that you can switch this. We've had it mounted up like this on the left side of the rifle for right-handed users. However, you can switch it around and put it however you want. So you can just undo these 2 bolts there, flip it around onto this side and mount it on the exact opposite side of the rifle with just the turn of a couple bolts. So it is modular, just like everything else that they like to do over there at Elzetta, so that's definitely a good thing. You can see there that with the battery in there, it comes in at 4.6 ounces, so pretty lightweight if you're going to be mounting it out there on the end of your rifle. I'd imagine that's probably enough details to bore you. Now, one thing that folks are always going to be concerned about when you're looking at a sort of a high-end light like this is price. This one, generally speaking, is going to come in right around the $200 mark. Now, depending on the options you choose, different tail caps, if you're using a tape switch, things like that, it's going to sort of bump the price a little bit. But generally in the $200 price range, you can go over to Elzetta's website, which we'll put below in the comment section. There's also other places that sell these. I think like Amazon even sells them, and other stores as well, I'm sure. So that's about it, guys. I highly recommend this light for sure, as I do with all Elzetta products, if you have it in your budget. So definitely a good product, and if you want it to work no matter what, Elzetta is definitely one to take a look at. If you guys have any questions that we didn't answer here in the video, by all means post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.